Hi guys, it's Marissa and welcome back to another one of my videos. I am coming at you barefaced, new hair, bangs that are growing out with a new video. Last year I made a video called Things I Learned in My First Semester at Western University and you guys seemed to really like that video, so I thought that I would update you guys with a video for my first semester in second year. I just want to show you this mushroom lamp I got at IKEA. Look at it, it's a mushroom. It lights up and it's battery operated and I think it turns off automatically after a while. It's like so cute and it's really big, it's like this big man, but if you guys like mushroom things, it's really cute. Okay, I am gonna go through some things that I learned in my second semester. If you guys didn't know or you didn't watch last year's video, I will put it up. Why do I always get this wrong? I think it's here. Just some background information on me is I am in second year at Western University. I'm a medical sciences student. I have yet to solidify what module I want to do, but I have some ideas going on. I'm from Vancouver, that's where I am right now. I'm filming this at home. For first semester, I moved into my university house with my 4 best friends and have been doing school in London for the first semester. I've been really liking second year a lot more than I did first year for sure. The classes are a lot more interesting to me. I made kind of a list on my laptop. So we did that in my last video too, but she's lying in the same spot. I guess it's just funny. I've like changed my room around a lot. That wall was blue. I painted it brown as soon as I got back when we got kicked out of residence. These are like my tips and tricks on how I survived first semester of second year. This one's a little different too for online school, and there's gonna be some tips for school online specifically. My first tip for you, and I say this in a lot of my videos, is to make a to-do list. Helps me so much, especially when it's online school. It can be so overwhelming. I know a lot of us felt that when we first started this semester in fall. The due dates and all that type of stuff and updating it regularly can help ease the anxiety. Another thing that I didn't expect that I'd be doing this year, especially with it being online, is making new friends. But honestly, my friends helped so much with coping with school and making sure I'm on top of it and working together. So I somehow made a couple more friends this year, which is crazy. I'm very grateful for them. Making small study groups, even online, over Zoom or FaceTime, makes such a difference, or even just texting if you get confused about something. Obviously, I still have my housemates too. Some of us are taking the same courses, so that helped as well. Company when doing school is not always accessible, but try your best to put yourself out there and meet as many people as you can. Another thing that really helped with the stress of second year classes and it being a little more intense and needing that really good average to get into your honor specialization was taking breaks. I know that sounds kind of scary to some people. I know sometimes it can sound really scary to me too, but making sure that I take breaks throughout the day, letting myself feel okay about the breaks, because sometimes you can take them but you can feel shitty about them. But if you had it and you already had your break, you can be like, okay, I needed that and now it's time to get back to work. And that kind of goes along with me time, taking time, especially if you're not working or doing anything else or you have a lot of downtime. Just remember that downtime is for you and for you to do anything you want to do, like taking a bath or watching a movie that you've been meaning to watch for a while. You deserve the time, especially if you've been working all day. My next tip is to make a lot of mini goals, and that can include just checking off 1 or 2 things on that to-do list that you made, non-school related, like exercising today or making sure I eat a bowl of fruit. Any mini goal that can push you along your day and you can check off can make all the difference. Another thing I learned this semester was that online school is hard and very different, and it's hard and very different for pretty much everyone, and that includes your profs and your TAs and your peers and yourself, of course. It's a fat adjustment, and I think a lot of people are starting to get used to it now, and it definitely took a while for me to get used to it as well. Always helping your peers out, maybe if someone you don't know, or breakout rooms especially, sometimes they can be so dead. And I get it, sometimes I don't talk in them either. Just being friendly when you're in breakout groups with people you don't know can make the difference in someone's day, to have that human interaction that they usually might not have. I try to be really energetic in breakout rooms because I know that they can be really silent, and if anything, it's just really awkward for me and I hate it. Another cool thing with school being online is there's not as much of a barrier to physically walk up and talk to your professors. Like, you just don't have to do that this year, so you can kind of take advantage of the fact that you don't have to do that. My bio profs from last year, Nikki. If you guys are at Western, you probably know who Nikki is, but she emailed me and told me that she saw some of my videos and that she needed help with something. She got nominated for an award and she needed some footage, and she had heard me talking about my classes on my YouTube videos, which is really cool. But even something like that, or connecting with other profs about maybe just checking on how they're doing, if they're doing certain research that you're interested in, and asking questions. It's a really easy way. You have no excuses to not talk to them because it's really not a scary thing online. Everyone's trying to be really kind and everyone knows that it's really hard. So it's actually a really good opportunity to talk to your profs. Everyone's always willing to have that communication, since a lot of the profs feel like they're lacking that. So they're very welcome and open to that type of thing. So definitely for me to remind myself to go out and ask my profs if I need something, or if I'm just curious in what they're doing, that it's definitely welcome. Of course, they can also be good resources for just getting more information and jobs in the futures. Another important thing that I'm sure you guys all kind of learned from your online semester is to stay on top of your classes. It's really hard because some lectures can be really, really long. Orgo was really, really long. We'd have like hour-and-a-half lectures if all the videos were added up. So it's really important to stay on top of it, and also remember that you don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can separate it, and that's what your classes would have been anyways. It's also important to learn to prioritize where you should be putting your time and efforts, because sometimes it can be a lot, especially during midterms, final season. The grind can be really real. I know that I definitely deprioritized my health sci class. I found that it was really easy for me to do well without taking a lot of notes and being super involved in the class. I could put in a lot more work and get a fantastic grade, but calculating my grades and seeing where I needed it and where I didn't need it really helped me remember that it's more important for me to learn the things that I need for my module. So just kind of learn where you should be prioritizing yourself, especially if you're thinking about med school or grad school or whatever you're thinking about. Think about what they calculate the GPA out of, or if you're going into your honor specialization, if they take that into account. So just remember what classes are more important and what classes are less important. Like I mentioned before, I really liked my second year first semester courses. I found them really interesting. One of my favorites was the microbiome and immunology course. I really liked that one, and that's kind of influencing what I want to do for my honor specialization. I find them way more interesting, and that definitely helped with being engaged in the class and wanting to do my work. And the classes are also a lot smaller. I really do find that the smaller classes help the profs feel more engaged with the class, and therefore making me feel more engaged. For second year in general also, if you're in med sci specifically, people are tending to hone more into their modules. I definitely am. I'm on the wait list for an epidemiology course for second semester, and I'm 23rd in line. I've been in 23rd in line for the last couple of weeks, and I've just been waiting to get it. Make sure that you, when selecting your courses maybe, or switching your courses around, that you're looking at all the modules you think you might like. I know that after taking microbiome and immunology, it opened up a lot more modules that I think I wanted to take, so it was hard to go back and get on that list. That's why I'm on the wait list for epidemiology. Choose your classes wisely. You don't want to close yourself to any modules. Look at the modules that you think you might like, even though if you don't really know what it is yet, because if you're taking a course that requires that, then maybe it might be related, you might like it more. So just try not to close your doors. I know that can be really hard, and of course you can always change your mind, but just keep that in mind that a lot of people are doing that. So hopefully, pray for me, I get the epidemiology course. This is more to do with living in a house now. In residence, of course, I had a gym right downstairs. I had a piano practice room, and those are two of my bigger hobbies, I'd say. Especially piano, just having the ability to literally walk downstairs and play whenever I wanted and not feel like I'm bothering my roommates. That was really nice and something I took for granted. I obviously don't have a piano in London or a keyboard, and I didn't really want to get one. So that's something I took for granted, and that's something I kind of do to give myself some me time. I didn't have a car to drive around in, and I kind of lost the independence. All I could really do was study. So I was kind of losing hobbies, so I decided that it would be a good idea for me to pick up a new hobby or learn a new hobby. When I started beading hair, that was really fun for me. It was something for me to do that was help my self-confidence for the rest of the week because the beads were in my hair, and also give my hand something to do, something tactile. That piano was kind of giving me. So for Christmas this year I asked for a skateboard, and I've been kind of learning, and I'm definitely bringing it back to London. That was the whole point, but it's kind of giving me a new hobby I can work on. I'm also bringing a jump rope back to school with me. Hopefully that'll help me exercise more. I'll be putting myself outside. Come up with a hobby that you can do both when you're home and when you're at school. To be able to say you have something more to do than school is really nice. Another thing with living in a house is meals. Obviously there's no cafeteria. Another thing I learned to do was to cook efficiently. One thing I do is I always make leftovers, and I'll either freeze it. I froze a bunch of meals that I made before I left, so hopefully those are still in the freezer and doing well. Cooking efficiently, so making like meal prepping, making leftovers, and like kind of creating your own little recipe book. I have like a Pinterest board of my plant-based recipes, and sometimes at the end of like a week and you have little groceries, there's like barely anything in the fridge. I've learned a whole bunch of really good like pantry pasta recipes or pantry soup. I like have gotten really good at just making soup and having it taste pretty good and like still being hearty. It's definitely like a learning curve, and you'll like learn what you like as you go. It is definitely a different skill when you're doing it on a time crunch and like trying to be economic with your groceries. The last thing I've been doing and that I learned has been really important, especially during the pandemic when sometimes spending money is all you can do, is to track your spending. And I made this whole spreadsheet Google form that connects. It's really cool. And maybe I'll share it with you guys at the end of the year when I show you guys my spending again, which I did during the summer, which I did for first year, so I'll try and link that too. Tracking my spending can be a really useful way to make sure I'm not going crazy, because the days blend into weeks, blend into months, blend into a whole last semester, so it's really hard to remember how much you're spending, and being on top of it can be a really cool way to manage and like notice the trends in what you're spending and adjust from there. Certain days where grocery stores will have student discounts, so like 10%, I can't remember the exact days to be honest, but yeah, just being money smart in general has been a lot of a challenge, and it's been really interesting, especially with paying rent, really seeing how much it costs to live day to day, which was really different than res, obviously, because you pay it all at once. Those are some of the things that I learned in my first semester in second year. A lot has changed. I am a lot more comfortable, I would say. I have that group of friends. I remember after first semester, obviously I was close with my housemates, but we're so much closer now. It's crazy how much time we spent together, and I don't hate them. Obviously, after quarantine in the summer, getting used to being kind of alone has been a learning curve, and I think that was kind of what I was struggling with in first year. When I mentioned it's like harder to make friends, and it is harder to make friends, and obviously hard to make friends when school is online. Definitely been a lot of growth between last year's video and this video, so if you noticed, let me know, because I definitely see a big change. If you watched last year's video when it first came out, let me know how much you changed in a year. It has been a big year for all of us, despite what you felt you've done, but I feel like I've definitely come a long way, and a lot of things have happened to me, and I've grown a lot. First semester definitely had a lot to do with that. It's a very chill video. I'm talking very quietly because it's nighttime. I hope you like my room too, the mushroom. I've been working on it a lot since I got back. It's kind of been my project. Also my nails. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I will see you soon. You say goodbye to these pimples. I'm trying to get them to go away. Let me know if you have any ideas. But yeah, this is me. 19. Going into my second semester in second year.